Hey everybody, it's me, the Sepia Scholar. I hope that this video is finding you blessed and highly favored. I'm definitely excited to come to you with this review. If you notice, I have some awesome artwork in the back, and there's a reason for this. My homie, J Flu the artist, has been nominated for a NAACP award for Best Animated Series. So I wanted to show him a little love on this video. I'm wearing his hoodie. I'm so excited that I got it. As you can see, it's a beautiful bright color to match my earrings. And then the painting over here is the one that he did for my birthday. It's me taking over the world, having the world in my hands. And then, of course, my favorite love couple, Dwayne and Whitley from A Different World, is also another painting that he did for me. So I've been supporting this guy because I love his work. He's amazing. He always supports me, and he's definitely a talented artist. So if you get a chance, I believe the closing ends tonight at 9 p.m. Go to vote.naacpimageawards.net and go vote for Peanut Head Toonz, Black History Toonz. Do it as quickly as you can. If you haven't seen one of his videos, he has a YouTube channel, and he has this episode showing on Quelly TV. With that being said, good luck, my brother. I know you're going to win. Let's speak some positivity into the universe, and I can't wait to see you get the just due that you deserve. So with that being said, let's get started with the review and talk about the episode. This is Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 5, I believe it is. It's a sure thing. And what did I feel about this episode? It was like a whole episode of people just working your nerves just for the hell of it. And then on top of it, the episodes are always 2 hours long. So when you sit down, you got to sit and be ready to go through all the foolishness. And so I watch it for you so that you guys can watch my review video and get it in short spurts instead of sitting through it for 2 hours like I do. Thank you, Lifetime. We appreciate that. So either way, the episode starts off with picking up from where they were in Puerto Rico. They're vacationing for their honeymoons, and it's showing them wake up on their first day in Puerto Rico, and they discuss their experiences so far. Alyssa, you know how I feel about Alyssa. Alyssa wakes up talking about she's thinking there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and she's hopeful that things are going to work out. Girl, how? Girl, how? You hate the man, and you keep talking about you have hope. You think it's going to be okay. There is no hope in this thing. Just stop. She's really working my nerves with that. I don't know how much more I can say about Alyssa. She's just a nasty, nasty individual. So I don't know. People on here are delusional. Now it goes to Lindsay and Mark. Lindsay asks if Mark likes to eat goldfish with milk. Have y'all ever tried that? It sounds disgusting to me. Have y'all tried that before? Do you have any weird food combos that you like, that you think that other people be grossed out by? If you do, let me know in the comments. I know I have some strange combinations going on, but one that I tried in college was, Velveeta shells and cheese with corn. A future law student that I used to hang out with who did art at the same time. Hey, Tanya, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed. She put me up on that, and I've been eating it ever since. I even have my kids eating it. It tastes so freaking good, even though it sounds weird. But let me know what weird food combinations you like to eat. Either way, she can't keep a straight face when production asks her about whether or not she and Mark have consummated their relationship. And she's like, what do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I don't know the answer. And Lindsay's always a straight shooter, super serious, so it's pretty obvious that something happened. But she says a lady doesn't kiss and tell. I'm like, what lady? Where is she? Show me where she at, because it's not you. I usually don't talk about people, but you are definitely not a lady. Hell, sometimes I'm not a lady. Stop with the foolishness. We all know y'all smashed. Just stop it. Either way, Lindsay asked if he ever had, Mark that is, Mark the shark, if he has ever had any pina coladas. He says, yeah, I have, but she wants to go have an activity to make them. He was cool with it, but he was more focused on bringing up Lindsay's drinking as a possible point of tension regarding their recent verbal scuffle with Katina and Olajuwon. You see how I use all of my big words? Anyway, she got a fight because she was drunk. So Apparently, before the group drama happened, she drank 3 bottles of wine by herself. And if you paid attention to the last episode, she was crying. She said she needed to take a break. She was triggered. No, bitch, you were drunk. You were drunk and annoying. As you can see, I'm passionate behind this lady because she was being a big Karen and she was using dog whistles to try to set up a large one. I mean, you don't act up like that at the dang on airport. So I am not feeling this lady at all. So back to Jazmina and Michael at the suite. Michael brings Jazmina breakfast, and he brings that nasty ass black coffee that he insists on making. No sugar, no cream, no caramel, nothing for the girl. But she kind of teases him about it, but he says he's gonna learn how to make it for her next time. So they start discussing a minor argument that they had since they got there. He feels that since their argument that they're both becoming more distant, and you already know he said he's emotionally unavailable, so that's a bad sign. She says she can't help but feel like he's always expecting things to go wrong rather than just going with the flow. I'm not surprised she said this because she keeps harping on the fact that the sisters gave her a heads up about his Eeyoreness. Remember I told you that's what I call people who are always super depressed. I know it's a disease, but people are always down. I always call them Eeyore. Everybody that knows me knows, like, oh guys, I can't, it's all jokes right now, but he's super down, and it explained later in the episode why. But to me, it seems like they're both sabotaging this relationship and overthinking. Michael seems to be fighting hard to give all of him, but seems to be scared she's going to walk away. So it looks like they're both going to sabotage this relationship. And then on an even more negative note, Alyssa's over there playing all the world's biggest violin, crying, why me, as she wonders how she ended up in a room alone on her honeymoon, despite the fact that she suggested it. So she goes as far as to say, I'm spending a honeymoon. I wish I could spend a honeymoon with my husband. And I'm like, you ruined it, lady. And I use the term lightly. You ruined it, chick. She basically has been acting like Chris is a disease that she's contracted. It's so horrible how she's treating another human being. I'm going to say, if it were me and I came out and the person, I was not attracted to that person, what I would do is I'd be like, shoot, I'm about to cuss y'all. Fuck it. Let's go on a vacation. Let's live it up. I'm in Puerto Rico for free. If anything, we might fall in love just from having a good ass time on the trip. But no, not Alyssa. She just got to be nasty. And Alyssa and Jasmina apparently hang out together in real life. And some of the things I saw in this episode, I see why. So either way, Chris isn't thrilled about the situation either. He thought he would be able to go through the process even with somebody who wasn't compatible, because he feels like Alyssa isn't even giving a marriage a chance. But he sits up here on a screen with a straight face and says he still feels there's hope. How, Chris? How? She don't like you. She goes into crime. She doesn't even know you. She may have talked to you maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours based on how the show is set up. And she is so revulsed by you that she won't even be in the same room as you. And she has to fake and grin and bear it to talk to you and have a conversation. What hope are you talking about? Something is wrong with you. I know you're supposed to be the victim and feeling bad for her. You're the sad person, the hero, underdog we're supposed to be looking at on this show. But at this point, you're delusional. She does not like you. I'm saying it with my chest, y'all. Sorry, I'm passionate today. Sorry. Calm me down. Write in the comments. Let me know if I'm being too passionate. But these people worked my nerves this entire episode. Tell me how you felt about this episode in the comments. As for Noy and Steve, it looks like they're going to be the only couple that's lovey-dovey, right? They're getting fairly comfortable with each other. And she's all like, I love him. Beautiful. All this good stuff. And he's kind of like, I'm here. So they start talking about, he's basically putting it out there that, hey, I like to go on adventures. I like to go camping. And she's like, oh, I don't do outside. So y'all matched a couple where the guy likes to go on adventures and be outside with a chick that doesn't want to be outside. He sees her lack of enthusiasm over his love of camping as a red flag. I honestly feel that Steve No Jobs is trying to groom Noy to be ready to live in that damn van that he's been living in for 4 months on this adventure. Y'all, this is foolishness. This is foolishness. We got so much more to go. Let me keep it moving. And so we go over to Olajuwon, and he checks in with Katina and to see if his snuggling is improving. And she says no. She admits that he's too hot and sweaty to snuggle up with for the time being. And she even suggests that he get some Botox. You know how they do the shots under the arms to stop all that damn sweating. Me personally, do I like cuddling? Yes, I like cuddling, but after a while, I need to roll over to my side because I don't like people breathing in my face, and I want to be all up on my pillows, squeezed up, wrapped up the way I like to be, living my best life on my side of the bed. So I do enjoy cuddling, especially after a good session, but sitting up there, breathing in my face, I can't breathe. I need to turn over and be doing my thing over on the other side. So I like cuddling, but only for short periods of time. So moving on, we're going to the activities. So while in paradise, the couples explore Puerto Rico, their resort, and more ranging from excursions to classes. Lindsay and Mark are enjoying making pina coladas together, and while doing so, Mark speaks up. Mark the shark is hilarious. Mark says he longs for a boring moment with his wife. I'm like, hell, me too. She's so turned up. She's the type of person that will make you tired. Even during the pina colada thing, she was so extra, making all those brain freeze jokes. I love a funny person. I love humor. I love a good time, but she is just overwhelming. So even though she started calming down, so this allowed Mark to show his fun side. Because remember, Mark the shark says he has a high energy and he's always ready to have fun. But because she's so turned up, he can't be turned up because then there's going to be some real trouble. There's going to be some old Porky's, American Pie, any crazy raunchy teen movie back in the day is going to all be going on, or old school Frank the Tank type foolishness going on. So he knows exactly what he's doing. They discuss their dating history, and Lindsay says she almost dated every engineer on the planet. I'm like, oh, Lord, she was dating engineers? That's part of the problem. I'm thinking about it now. That's part of the problem because everybody who knows what I do knows where I'm going with this. Engineers are very analytical, quiet. I'm not saying we can't have fun, but they probably picked her because they were talking about a funny joke how in the engineering building, most of them dated communications majors, education majors, because they wanted to pick somebody who wasn't as strict and stern and analytical as they were. They wanted somebody more creative and fun. So that's probably why she was dating all the engineers on Earth, as she says. Even her dad said, if you bring one more engineer home, so dad don't even put out there that she was out in these streets with these engineers. And then she said she mostly dated black guys. So was she out here at the Nesby conferences picking up dudes? Let me find out. That is hilarious to me. I'm tickled by that. But anyways, every time she speaks with Mark, she keeps emphasizing how for the street she was, how loose she was, and that she's ran through. I don't know if that's supposed to be a badge of honor. I don't know. It's really weird. It's like she's slut shaming herself. It's really strange about what she's doing. So Mark tells about an ex that he was with that he truly loved that got too emotional when she drank. And I'm like, why would they match him with drunky poo? If I'm sure when they did those extensive interviews that they talked about exes, and so they know for a fact that's one of his triggers. That's why I said this is a social experiment for us to watch them have a meltdown on TV, because they hooked him up with a drunky poo, and it does a lush. They make no sense. Through their conversation, Lindsay worries that Mark has been too big of a people pleaser in his life. Been there, done that, and she wants to show her caretaker and compassionate side to make sure that he's being taken care of. There's little glimpses of this of Lindsay that I like, where you're like, oh, okay, she might be a decent person. Then her drunk ass comes through and jacks it up and makes you can't stand her again. So I would like to see more of the compassionate Lindsay, because I know that it's in there, right? Meanwhile, back at the ranch with Noy and Steve, they sit outdoors for a picnic where they discuss bathroom habits. Basically, being afraid to poop and pass gas in front of your significant other, and how comfortable they are to do it with in front of each other, with one another. And I thought that was funny because I don't believe in that. I know people who do. I think it takes away the romance, but it is what it is, right? Things get a little awkward after she tells him that she's beginning to fall in love with him, and he doesn't express equal enthusiasm. He turns and looks her dead in the face, says, "That's nice to know, but you do know it's only been 3 days." Steve is an engineer. He's just like me. I'd be doing the same thing. Be like, "Oh, girl, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what you're gonna get. I only know you 3 days. I don't know if your ass is a serial killer. We gonna see where it goes from here." So let's go to Katina and Olajuwon. So Olajuwon insists that Katina joins him at the gym, and she immediately regrets the experience because he's super intense. He's fussing at her about the way she's lifting the weights, telling her to move it back and forth. "Oh, you're not going hard enough." And yeah, she's super slim and small and looks a little frail, but he is totally like giving her the business in the gym. And he's basically too intense and judgmental throughout the session. And Katina's like me. I'm going to give you a face if I'm not feeling what's going on. I'm quick to be like, she was not here for it. I would have been the same way. I love going to the gym with a accountability partner, but you are not going to make my gym experience terrible. That's not going to happen. So, moving right along, Chris and Alyssa go paddleboarding together, despite their lack of connection. And she's laughing about him falling on the board, off the board into the water. And I'm trying to figure out, if you haven't been in the water or if you haven't fallen off the board, why your hair look a damn mess. It was interesting, but I'm gonna say this is all for TV, because she tells him she wants them to get together as united front because the experts didn't do them right. So she wants them to team up to talk bad about the show instead of team up together and actually experience the whole process together. So after getting out of the water, they sit and talk for a minute, and she brings up that she was told about her soulmate. Basically, she went to a psychic, and she was told that her soulmate would have pretty eyes and an eagle tattoo. So why are we here? If you know, did you expect to? Is that why you're disappointed? Are you gonna try to play like you're disappointed because you walked down the aisle and the dude didn't have pretty eyes and an eagle tattoo? Or are we gonna be real in the fact that you feel like he got a yuck mouth and a bad body and looks like a real estate agent, and that's why you don't like him? She's come up with every excuse why she don't want to be with the man except the truth. Anyways, Chris got a nice laugh out of it, and she gets upset because he's not taking her ass seriously, and it only adds to the tension. So I'm gonna speak on how I feel about this after this. But Jazmina and Michael enjoy some pool time. She gets candid about him overthinking everything and asks if that's been a problem with relationships in the past. Think about this, guys. They've only been here 3 days. Either way, she brings up his sisters again. I wish the sisters never would have said anything, because she's pulling an Alyssa too. Alyssa used the friend saying he's condescending to try to tank the whole thing. Jasmina's using the fact that they say he's negative, what's we call it, negative Ned, because he's not a Nancy. And she keeps bringing it up over and over again. He admits that past tragedies like losing friends and family have increased his level of overthinking. You have to think Michael has had a lot of death in his life. So he basically looks at things negatively, so he's not disappointed. I've had to talk about somebody about that as well. And so, I mean, it happens. Jazmina, to me, comes off as dismissive and lacking empathy. And she just keeps trying to tell him to push it to make the best of it, which is a good thing. And she wants him to live in the moment. But at least Mike is agreeing to work on it. One moment, please, crazy people. Somebody is blowing up my text. Oh, snap. Perfect. My boss said something cool. Work things. Sorry about that. Anyways, like I was saying, Mike is gonna work on being more excited and living in the moment. Now they're going out on a group excursion. Y'all, my phone is blowing up for work. It's not gonna keep me from giving y'all a review. Okay, awesome. Good news. Good news. All right. All right. So they're on their excursion, and they basically make it clear that Olajuwon makes it clear that Lindsay apologized to him in the DMs, which I think is some bullshit. Because not you embarrassing me in public and then apologizing in private. So you did all that Karen stuff, saying you was triggered, crying, but turn around and apologize in private, but you still gonna stick to your guns in public. Man, Olajuwon is better than me. Honestly, Olajuwon comes off very, very young and immature, but I think that's what's allowing him to float off his back because he's like, I'm just here for a good time. So it is what it is. So I'm another thing somebody pointed out. It's like they're forcing them to go on these trips with the other couples, and it feels like they're working more on making friends and building marriages. I honestly feel like the people should be on at least the first week by themselves, learning each other. I think that's one thing they should definitely change about the show, but I'm sure the making friendships causes more drama, hence more ratings, right? I mean, think about with Chris and Paige. Everybody really, really couldn't stand Chris, and there were issues with Virginia, and I forgot what the other Karen's name was, but it made for more ratings. Anyways, the couples convened for a catamaran boat ride, and while there's lingering tension after Olajuwon and Lindsay's fight upon their arrival in Puerto Rico, no one is letting the bad vibes get in the way at first. So on the boat, the couples discuss their progress, including whether or not they've had sex yet. Most of the couples are staying quiet on the topic, although there's a mention of it by Lindsay and Mark. So Jasmina says that she wants to get to know Mike first before they jump in the sack. Steve and Noy say they want privacy. We're convinced that they already smashed. Every time a couple said that, they already did it. Katina and Olajuwon, they say, Katina says it's definitely a no, not yet. As for Chris, he calls out the elephant in the room and notes that he and Alyssa aren't on that level clearly. So we know he can't breathe in her direction without her starting to cry. Once they arrive at their destination, the women and men divide into two groups for some chats about the new marriages, right? So they're sitting having chats. The girls were on the boat. If I remember correctly, the men were on the shore doing their thing. Noy brings up her mention of falling in love. But while Steve is talking to the dudes, he's like, he isn't quite able to drop the L word yet. Michael worries that he's not going with the flow enough, but he's going to keep trying, as I said before. And Olajuwon reveals that his gym trip with Katina was a test to see if she'd speak up for herself, and which she did when he was getting out of pocket, right? And I'm like, so you want the wife, you got the wife, so now you're going to spend time testing her for what? Why? Just be happy because everybody, it's so obvious that you was on some F-boy stuff and you were community D back in the day and you wanted some lady that would accept you no matter what shenanigans you've been up to and you going to sit up here and test her. Man, if you don't go sit your ass. Y'all. Okay. I'm going to calm down. Calm down. All right. Act like the scholar that you are. No, okay. Either way, Alyssa remains quiet about her and Chris's lack of connection, despite Lindsay pushing for details. You know, Lindsay's annoying. She know they don't like each other, and she don't like Alyssa since they were at the bachelorette party. So why is she pretending to care if they are getting along or not? Nobody knows. Meanwhile, Lindsay reveals that she's falling in love with Mark, but isn't admitting that to him yet. She wants to keep that in her pocket. Okay. Back on the beach with the men, Mark admits that Lindsay's energy can be a bit much for him at times. They're not going to make it past this decision day, guys. They're not. And that seems to be the same for Katina on the boat where the women are talking. Yes, Olajuwon is turned up. Olajuwon is like having another kid. Lindsay's like having another kid. Maybe Olajuwon and Lindsay should be together since she like that black lead. Anyway, what y'all think? Put it in the comments. You think that would be a good mix? And Mark the Shark and Katina could skip off into the sunset. They both serious about being married and not on that foolishness. Olajuwon lucky he looked the way he looked, but I'm going to leave that there. So while they're on the boat, Lindsay said that she was triggered because she dated a guy who lost his mind when he drank. And I'm like, this can't be life. So you dated somebody that's just like you, and that's your trigger, but you gonna amp it. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Katina says you do realize you caused that triggering moment, right? Either way, Katina confronts Lindsay for her behavior, claiming that the woman is childish despite being old enough to know better. And it doesn't matter what you've been through at 2, 4, or 10. Get help and stop drinking. Katina was like, I know old told me to calm down, but she said she can't hold it in. See, Katina will gather a bitch real quick, and I was here for it. She says she told her, don't play victim when you're the manipulative, triggering, and rude one. And then Lindsay like, oh my God, you're being rude right now. You're being rude right now. And I'm like, bitch, Heather, you being rude. Like, it was so weird. It was like the worst gaslighting I've ever seen. Either way, after the bomb gets dropped, Katina gets up and goes to the side to chat privately with Alyssa, who's annoyed with Lindsay as well. We already know they don't get along. Jasmina did some respectability stuff I didn't like. She tried to clean it up and make Lindsay feel better. She's like, oh, you're not a bad person. Stop triggering yourself. And Lindsay continued to play the victim. I just noticed something as I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Why does Jazmina have so much grace for Lindsay and no grace for Michael, who is her actual husband? I have my theories, but what do y'all think in the comments? Why does Jazmina have so much grace for Lindsay and not Michael? I think it's crazy as hell. I don't know. Jazmina, you suspect now to me. I don't know. You beautiful. A beautiful suspect. Anyways, when the whole group reconvenes to head back to the resort, another conversation starts as Mark tells Lindsay to pick her battles. In other words, don't pick fights when unnecessary. And I told y'all this on the last video. She's the type of girl, because I knew them in college, that will go start some shit and expect her dude to fight. And then when he gets his ass whooped, she going to be drunk in the corner, boo-hoo crying. It's just don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Don't do it. She got me slapping my knee. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, don't get your dude beat up unnecessarily. I don't care if your dude is the Incredible Hulk or he's a big dude. You know, like my dude's big. Anybody can be beat down. You don't know what weapons people have, and he's gonna step up behind you, trying to be tough and look good in front of you, and get knocked the fuck out. I don't like it. Stop it, Lindsay. Damn. Anyway. As a game, they go to a game of Never Have I Ever. Steve and Noy discover they shared a connection over cheating on partners in the past. Olajuwon, with his hyped up ass, gets a little too open about his past as a player. Remember, Isaac. In relationships, asking if the other couples would ever do a threesome. So he keeps emphasizing the threesome. Like I said, I know a gentleman that told me if we were to be together, or whoever he's going to be with, they would need to be open to have a threesome. I'm not with it. I already told y'all in the last video why, but to each his own. But Olajuwon took this time to say that he apparently smashed a mom and daughter. And it's like, dude, first of all, see, stuff is running in my head as I'm thinking about this. When he got there, he made sure to emphasize how much of a player he was. During the wedding, he did a strip tease. Now he's telling about a mom and daughter he smashed. It seems like he's putting all his F-boy attention on display. He likes attention. And then he's gonna treat Katina good. So just in case if Katina dumped that ass, he will have chicks in his DM who will be down DTF, down to fuck. So the other guy friend that was giving him a hard time saying he just wanted attention might be onto something. And I was rooting for you, Olajuwon. Even you and your F-boy haircut. Please don't disappoint me. And I really want Katina to be happy. Please stop with the antics. You could have left that mom and daughter stuff alone, even though I've heard of that before. I knew a mom and daughter that were both doing the same dude, and it's disgusting, but it happens. So, after the group outing, the couples enjoy private dinners where Noy and Steve discuss the intimacy and the cheating topic. So they keep talking about intimacy, and as they're speaking about it, you can see that it's obvious that they smashed. That's why she's rushing for him to say that he's in love. He says he has strong feelings, but not love. And it turns out that they both cheated in their first relationships, and it's something they both learned from a great deal and have no plan of repeating. But Noy says that she's gonna try not to repeat. So I peeped that, Noy. Don't let Noisy get your ass. You in that damn Party City wig get your ass in trouble cheating on that man. You wanted a man so bad, you better act right. So just putting that out there. PSA. So now we're over to Jazmina. Jasmina is upset because Michael feels like she cut him off and she owes him an apology. And they show the playback, and it shows that she didn't actually cut him off. But in his mind, he feels like she cut him off. And she says she's not going to apologize because he was being aggressive and nasty, and his ugly side came out. And it's to the point where she says she doesn't even want the marriage anymore. So it's already going downhill, y'all. It's going downhill. Let's get through this because I want to get this video put up so I can advertise for my boy to vote for you guys to vote for him or NAACP. It is Peanut Headz, Black History, Toonz, Best Animated Series. So either way, Lajuan and Katina's dinner brings up Lindsay, so they want to talk about Lindsay. Y'all whole storyline gonna be about Lindsay, man. Even Lajuan peeps that and is like, no. So he reshifts the focus to them as he brings up the threesome conversation again. Katina says it's something she's not interested in, and he assures her that she's the only woman he needs. He said he deleted Instagram for her, and when they go back to the resort, he surprises her with rose petals, candles, champagne, a foot rub. I'm like, ooh, that must be nice. Leading Katina to cry over the kind gesture. She admits to the cameras that she's beginning to fall in love. Girl, don't do it. You got too many F-boy ways. It's a setup. Well, you know we're going to see this happen. It's only episode 5. They got 35 more episodes to go. You know how Married at First Sight does. Okay, so we're on to Alyssa and Chris. They meet briefly for a scuba activity that she basically said she was not going to have any parts in. She said she was okay with being on the paddle boards because she didn't have to be next to him, but she's not going swimming with this dude. Like I said, she treat him like the dirt on the bottom of her damn shoe. While Chris dives into the water, she tells the camera she's not happy and she's judgmental of Chris's physical appearance, and she's disgusted at him with no shirt on. Yeah, she turned and looked, and you know, I'm not little, but as little as Alyssa is, and she was standing there, she had a little bit of, I don't know if that was a gut, not like a flabby gut, but when you're a little bit bad body, when you slim, and she had the nerve to be talking about this man like she was, and she goes to the table and boo-hoo cries. What are you crying for? They said, even the producer's like, why are you crying? And she claims she's upset with her mother because they basically got on the phone, they had a chat, and her mother told her to suck it up and go with the flow. I believe the mama likes Chris and knows that Chris is good for her, but Alyssa is a spoiled brat. Alyssa keeps trying to convince us repeatedly by saying she's a good person, and she thinks that she's being nice, I don't know when, but refuses to speak with Chris at all when he returns from scuba diving. She actually screamed at him. The producer's like, don't let him walk over here. And I'm like, this girl is nasty. And she believes that she's way better than she actually is. I believe in having self-confidence, but then there's being delusional. What did he do to make you treat him so bad? Take off his shirt? Is that what he did? Okay, the man grill ain't right. He ain't kissing you in the mouth. Like, I'm confused. They need to send her home. At this point, this is bullying and mental abuse. You know how in middle school, you know how they always have the middle school girls, even that commercial where they say if you want to be on a diet, just have middle school girls follow you around, and every time the dad would go in the refrigerator to get something, they're like, ew, oh my God, he's so gross. This is what Alyssa's doing to a grown man, and she's a grown-ass woman. They need to send her and her chihuahua face ass and them ugly-ass boots home. She needs to kick rocks. On that note, I know why she's acting up, because they showed videos of her and her ex. She like big-ass Thor, Jason Momoa, Aquaman type dude. The dude wasn't cute in the face, and his grill wasn't all that, but he was big and swole. If that's what you wanted, he shouldn't have took your ass on Married at First Sight. And obviously the big swole dudes dogged your ass out. They're the dude that came home and told you stop making dinner, I'm breaking up with that ass, was a big swole dude with a six pack. I'm just gonna leave that there. Let's go to let's finish this up with Noy and Steve. We have so much more to do. I can't wait till we get to Lindsay and Mark. But let's do Noy and Steve. They don't have negative tension, they have sexual tension, right? Noy is saying that she's fallen in love once before, and this feels the same way as she is with Steve now, and she's overcome with tears and emotion because of it all. Then we go to Jazmina and Michael, and they had a tip over a difference of opinion regarding the comment made on the catamaran outing. They agree to meet for dinner. I don't know why they keep putting these fights over a romantic dinner, but I've been there where a dinner was supposed to be romantic, and then boom, everybody started arguing, and it wasn't good. So they discuss a situation in which she apologizes to him, but he isn't satisfied at the way she does it. I know why he wasn't satisfied, because when you say I'm sorry you felt that way, that means you're not acknowledging what you did. But since the camera showed that she actually didn't do it, I get it, but it's gonna put them in a tough spot because they're agreeing to disagree, but they're not really resolving it. So this is a horrible start to their marriage, and I could see her checking out. The closer he gets, the more she's checking out. So Jasmina, no wonder all your relationships were long distance. You're stubborn. Mike, no wonder your relationships didn't work out and you found stuff wrong because you're stubborn. And they put these two stubborn mother suckers together, and it's about to be ugly. Now let's finish up with Lindsay and Mark. Lindsay and Mark are at a supposed romantic dinner, and he basically kills the bliss by asking if they could slow their progress a bit because he's overwhelmed by the quick pace of their relationship. Y'all, he done smashed. He thinks she cool, but he does not like her as a person. So he done smashed, and now he talking about let's slow it down. She reacts badly. I mean, she's going in on him. She's talking about, well, why don't we slow down you eating with your mouth full? Why don't we slow down you taking a shit in the bathroom and clogging up the toilet? So she the type of person, if you fight with her, she gonna embarrass that ass. She gonna embarrass that ass. She storms off, go to her room, telling him straight up, either you're all in or you're all out when it comes to this relationship. And with that being said, that is the end of the episode. It was a wild ride. As you can see, my phone is blowing up. I'm popular today, but I took time to do this review with you all. And please take time to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's the way you can show me love and appreciation. We all know I started this channel as some place to express my creativity, make an impact on the world, and have a good time with you guys. So with that being said, love and blessings to you. Sepia Scholar out.